Hey everyone, thanks for checking out my video on how to get S plus on all difficulties, chapter 13, part 13. Okay, so this island is a little tricky. The end portion of the island is hard, mostly towards 15, but this beginning portion is decently challenging. There are a few skips we can do here, both sequence breaks and glitches. I will show you the sequence breaks because I can do those. The glitches though, I know how to do them, but I've never done them. So I'll probably just splice some B-roll once they appear. But here we're gonna get to a sequence break. So let me pause the game, go to photo mode. Okay, so normally, and you probably already seen the sequence break. Normally you have to run to the back, hit some buttons, and turn these turrets around so they, don't blast you to bits. Especially that one at the end. There is a sequence break here where you can skip that by using the enemies to your advantage. So the goal here, take this guy out. It's completely fine if you turn the alarm on. So I'm gonna run. Now, for this sequence break, you're gonna want to do some slightly different things based on your difficulty. If you're playing on hardcore or professional, you have two options for the sequence break. Let me just pause the game and show you what I was doing here. Oh, this by the way is not the sequence break I was going to try to show. This kind of went sideways, but it still worked. So you want to trigger the alarm and stand where I was standing now. And the goal is to get the bullhead, or the pig head, I think he changed his mask here, after he comes out of the door, to try to kick you. When he kicks you, if you're close enough, you dodge the kick and you get him in the range of the lasers. Then it focuses on him, and while it's shooting him, you just run by, like I did now. This wasn't supposed, this wasn't supposed to happen. He was actually supposed to come towards me, but he ran away. I haven't actually seen that before, so this is new. But I improvised. So I shot this guy, and he came to me instead. That, like I said, was an improvisation. I've actually never done this before. I guess you can do this one too, mostly on hardcore and professional because of the extra health. Because it did shoot him a few times. If you're on standard and assisted, you do want to do the kick one. But anyway, let's continue with the level here. So what I tend to do here is I just run this area. I use one flash for this part, because these guys can sometimes grab you, and I don't want to deal with that, so I just flash them. Get those two chests. Run past this guy, because he's not going to get you. And just climb up. Once you get to the top, keep ignoring everybody. Hit this chest. Hit the next chest here. You can skip that cutscene. Just run this. Don't really worry about all this. You can sometimes dodge that. I didn't really try to dodge that. Shoot that. Get him out of the way. And then open the gate. Now, the second crown is here. And it's up to you to decide if you want to get it or not. Normally, I suggest yes. Especially on easier difficulties. So, if you do not want to fight these people, just run to the right side, head towards the back, and open the chest. The most dangerous enemy here is that guy there. If you have a flash, use the flash. If you don't have a flash, just run it. I'm gonna go the other way because they were too close. This is fine. I might die here. But yeah, this is fine. So now that I have the second crown, I'm gonna inlay it. If you don't want to get this crown, you don't have the resources to do it, or you just don't want to risk it, you don't have to. It's completely optional. But I personally recommend it. Disarm the trap, run in here, climb up this ladder. Hopefully you still have bolts. We'll use them here to make it easier for us. Stick this guy. He probably won't die, because he tends to be pretty tanky. Stick another one there. And stick one more. I personally really hate grabbers, because they go from being 0 threat 99% of the time to being the most dangerous, because of the fact that they run really far, and if at any point in that run they grab you, they do automatic damage. You have to sacrifice your knife or take more damage. It's just really dumb. Then just go back. Because my knife's gonna break, I'm gonna make it into another set of bolts. I'd rather just make the bolts and not have the a knife than to risk it breaking. Okay, so you can skip this cutscene. This area here, you can technically take these enemies out with not too much difficulty, but I generally don't advise it because of the fact that the potential time loss can add up. This next entire segment, just run it. They'll never catch up to you. Go around his back. Once this guy opens the door, just run through his left side. Just run behind him like this. Just keep running. There's going to be a grenade in the trash bin. Right here. Just pick it up. Okay. Stick to the left side of this wall, and this guy will miss you. And we're at the merchant.
Got some rare things on sale.
I'm going to sell the crown.
Thank you. Good luck to you, stranger.
At this stage, just buy first aid and the resources.
Wise choice.
I'm going to get this too. Last case. Now, at this point, your goal should just be make it to the end. I'm going to get this to level 4 now, because I'm probably going to be low on money soon. So at this point, you can use whatever treasures you have left over. It's just bonus money at this point. Okay, so my 2 strongest guns are fully upgraded damage-wise, and that's what I want. Now, the Regenerator section. It's a pretty interesting part that, if you practice it enough, it's not that big of a deal. But if you have never done it, oh, this little case here is RNG. So depending on what you have done, it could be something you really need, or just, you know, gunpowder. So pull the lever like normal. And then just open this little lever here. The first regenerator won't spawn until you get the key. So you don't really have to worry about him getting you. Enter here first. Get the first aid spray and the red barrel back here. And the gunpowder. Okay, so I'm going to make a cut here because I actually forgot the combinations to these treasures. So I just got to look at my notes real fast. Okay, so the reason I had to look at my notes is because the solution for assisted and standard is different than hardcore and professional. And there's really no good way of explaining the puzzle. So I'm just going to splice in a picture of the solution for assisted and standard. And as for professional and hardcore, I'll just show it in my gameplay here. Okay, so for the professional one, it should just be the first node in the middle should be facing to the right. Then the middle number 2 should be facing to the right as well. And then the number 3 in the middle should be heading to the left towards the other number 3. And that's the solution for this puzzle. Now, this one you have to do. The other 2 we can talk about once we get to them. Oops. Hold on, let me go to photo mode. You're going to want to blast this guy in the legs. Once he goes down, run behind the room behind him, break the glass and get the gold bar. And then just run back to the power switch, switch the power, then go to the freezer room.
Fuck are you?
Sometimes he can turn around on you pretty fast. So if need be, just shoot him again and try to push your way out. If you don't have the shotgun ammo for this, you can still kind of do it, but I highly recommend the shotgun. It's just gonna make everything so much easier if you have it here. Luckily, he doesn't chase you into the freezer room, so once you enter it, you're pretty much safe. Okay, so I'm gonna pause again, and I'm gonna splice in B-roll of the solution for the assisted and standard difficulty. Just leave it on the screen for a few seconds. So there you go. An L to the right. There we go. Now once you have this, if you don't have the inventory to keep it, that's fine. Just send it to your storage box. You're gonna sell it anyway. And come pick this up. It's RNG in here, so it can be pretty much anything. Now in this room, let me go to photo mode again. There are 2 possible ways to basically wait it out. You can do the clipping glitch, which is just get your sniper out, aim down, and walk into the wall. It'll clip Leon into the wall. The other way is just to blast his legs and just run around in circles on this particular area. I've never practiced the clipping glitch with the camera, so I'm not going to do that version. But if you know how to do it, you can definitely do it. I'll just show you the way I usually do it. Once you practice the clipping one, it's safer. It's a safer strategy than just running around. Because then at least you only risk 1 grab instead of multiple potential grabs. Once his legs grow back, if you're doing this strategy, then you would shoot him off again. Oh, this is bad. Okay. After you get out of here, just run straight to the other power door and get out. That second Regenerator, the one you originally behind, he has the potential to be anywhere in this room. He wanders around. So if he's on your left like that, you're free. If he's on your right, like in your way, you have to blast him. And you're done. There's going to be 3 enemies down here. I always recommend Old Faithful. If you have it fully powered up, this area is going to be a joke. It's not any threat to you at all. One of them tends to transform. Not always, but it does happen. Sometimes this guy comes at you when you're blowing everybody up. So if he doesn't come at you like this, just take him out silently. I always recommend to loot this area because there's yellow herb back here. I think SMG ammo. I think. Yeah, SMG. Okay. Let me make this full heal. Make more bolts. Okay, so before we fully finish this room, I do want to give you a heads up on what you should be aware of or what you should have in your inventory at this stage. Now, I have 5 small grenades and 3 heavy grenades. Depending on what you're planning to do in the next stage, so it's chapter 14, you're going to need either 3 hand grenades, small grenades, or you're going to need just 1 heavy grenade and 1 large grenade. We'll go to photo mode. These guys are also random, so I don't know which one has the wrench. You always have to find them manually with the thermal scope. Now, with that being said, on assisted and standard, they have 2 parasites, and they're usually far enough apart that you can't line up the shot. Hardcore and professional, they tend to have 4, but usually 2 are lined up enough that you can take them out one shot. You can also get that 2 bugs, 1 stone achievement for shooting 2 in one shot. Now, there is a strategy here where you can clip in the wall again. It's fairly consistent and fairly easy. Okay, so I'm going to equip the thermoscope. And that's all I'm going to use. I'm not going to use this anymore, the original one. So I'm going to send that to the storage. Okay, so let's find the wrench. Nope. 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 Should be this one. Yep. Okay, so see he has 4. I'm just going to shoot these 2 here. So once he goes down, like that, he has the potential to start breaking the glass around him. You also want to be mindful of your own shots, so you don't accidentally shoot the containers yourself. Okay, so the strategy with the sniper is the same as clipping. So you would just pull out your sniper, aim down, and then, you know, he would do that. I like farming the guys that come in. So shoot a bolt right here in front of that door, then load a new bolt into your bolt gun. Stand in front of this window. That causes the enemies to try to throw dynamite at you through the window instead of out the door if you're hiding behind the door. Because if you stand behind the door, you risk them dynamiting that particular container, tank. And if that happens, then the Regenerator is going to start chasing you too. And it's not impossible. It just gets really annoying on all difficulties. So right here, because you kind of want them to run in without them actually like overwhelming you. All right. There they come. Sometimes they do just jump over the wall here. If they do that, just toss another one. There's that. Bolt it again. Come on, toss it. Alright. And this is why I love the bolt thrower. It is, without a doubt, Old Faithful. And that's over. Then you just run out of here, loot whatever you can, and just finish chapter 13. Now, in regards to professional and saving on this chapter, it really, really depends on how you personally want to handle chapter 14. And because of the fact that chapter 14 is kind of like that almost done but not quite done chapter, you have to think about how many saves you have left. If you've been following along, see, right now I'm at 3 hours and 42 minutes. That means I have over an hour and 20 minutes to basically finish chapter 14 and 15. 16, like I said, is essentially free, so I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about 14 and 15. So if you have more than 2 saves, so you didn't save earlier, or you were able to beat a chapter and a half without saving, then you should save at the end of this chapter because you'll still be fine. If you're down to 2 saves like I am, and you want to do chapter 14 legitimately, I suggest that you still save here and continue. However, if you want to do chapter 14 and do the door skip where you open the door from the other side with the sniper scope glitch, or the pistol glitch where you just phase through the wall and open the door, then take the lift, then do not save here. Save after that part. That way you save right before the Krauser fight. And if you, just in case you die there, you just reload there. And then once you beat them, you can do your last save in chapter 15. Because like I said, chapter 15 is going to be the true final chapter. And it's also the hardest chapter because a lot can go wrong in that chapter. So really think about how you want to do chapter 14. For the sake of my guide, I'm going to do it legitimately and I'm going to save here, which means I'm going to have one less save and it's going to be a bit harder personally for me. So, you know, it is what it is. That's what I did the first time around, and I'm just doing this for the sake of the guide. And I personally recommend you do whatever you feel most comfortable with and whatever you want to personally do. So, we're going to finish chapter 13. And like I said, this is where you would essentially make your decision as to save or not. I mean, you could also just not save here and save at the very beginning of 14. Because there's a save station like right at the start. And it could save you some time by skipping this part. Yeah, chapter 14 is one of those chapters where you can have a very easy time if you do the right glitches. Or, you know, absolute nightmare of a chapter. Okay.
Pretty much a master of unlocking.
As for the side quests, you don't have to do them anymore unless you want to grab some of the extra stuff. I don't really recommend doing them anymore, simply because at this point you should just focus on finishing the game. Let's sell the stuff from the last chapter.
I'll buy it at a high price.
Submachine gun. And the fish.
Pleasure doing
As for buying, first aid again, definitely buy the first aid sprays, stock up on them.
where you gonna put this?
Okay, so
Your pocket?
repair armor if necessary. I'm gonna sell the L5.
A deal well struck. Better to be over prepared. Am I right? Your weapons are in good hands, mate. This kind of work.
So I'm just gonna focus on fire rate at this point. And reload speed. Just basically put your points into the shotgun, but make absolute sure your power is at level 4, because that's going to be such an essential weapon for this next segment.
There's some things, money. Good instinct, stranger. Come. Back. Welcome. Thank you. Pleasant travels.
Okay, so I am gonna save. So this is my 14th save, so I have one more. If you found this video helpful, then consider giving it a like, as it really helps out my channel. Thanks for watching and have a great day.